Hey, Retcon Raider here, and welcome back. Last time we took on our second noble contract and patrolled the roads down in this odd little river-bisected southeastern quarter. So I'm thinking next up we're going to start heading north and visit the frozen reaches. We haven't been there in a while. Now first up, it's worth noting that I did indeed shell out 1,000 gold to get all of our injuries treated. And it looks like it's paid off already because pretty much everyone is already healed. Some of the veterans are still recovering from some light flesh wounds, so we're going to stick with a one skull contract for now, but let's take a look at what we've got. A straight-backed man walks toward you. He's got a scroll in his lifted arm, approaching you like a message board on stilts. He says nothing, merely extends his arm, and you merely take the message as you're gestured to do. It reads that a local nobleman is looking for you, and presumably your services. You thank the messenger, but he says nothing, simply turning and stilting his way down the road. You find Count Gerald von Eisenstein staring over some scrolls. He glances up at you and offers a chair. "Glad you're here, mercenary. I've got an issue with greenskins in these parts. They've made camp south from here." He lowers one of the scrolls. "And I can't afford to send my own men. Knights are rather unexpendable. You, however, are just right for the job. What do you say?" Well, if there's enough gold in it. "Yes, good. I was thinking about payment for your task earlier. You'll be paid 160 crowns in advance and another 650 when the job is done." Well, it's not exactly a fortune, but for a one skull contract, I think that's more than fair. Not eager to face off against more greenskins, But I suppose one less orc stronghold is always a good thing. That actually takes us right back into orc territory, doesn't it? As there's the Wall Smashers encampment we never ended up taking out. Alright, well, let's head over there and take a look at what we're facing. Well, here we are at the deserted shelter. Our scouts have served us well and told us that there's many orc young and a single orc warrior in there. We've never faced an orc warrior before, so this is a bit of a risky fight. If memory serves me correctly, they're essentially walking tanks wrapped in the remains of knights they've pulverized. Now, I'm going to take a chance here and go in primarily with our rookies. The veterans could probably handle this a bit more easily, but the newbies have to learn at some point. Hopefully this isn't a decision I'll end up regretting. I like how they conveniently place their least armored orc up front so that we can shoot him right away. Though we don't seem to be having a whole lot of luck here. There we go. Okay. At least we doled out one crippling injury. The rest of the men will hold. We don't want to move forward and engage them where they've got the advantage of any elevated terrain. The ones that we really have to watch out for, as we've discovered over our past couple of orc battles, are these guys with the orc axes. I think instead of moving up and engaging, we're going to do a solid shield wall and prepare for their charge. It's tempting to rush in there and engage immediately, but I just don't see that really being worth it. And of course we need to be on our guard. The biggest threat on the field is that orc warrior. He's essentially wearing the equivalent of plate mail. You can even see the old knight's helm as his shoulder guard there. The rest of these orc young, we're going to want to wipe them out early, so then we'll all be able to focus fire on the orc warrior. It's going to take the concentrated firepower of our entire lineup to bring him down. Alright, we've got contact. So far so good. No one stunned, no one injured, no shields lost. And now our archers can start firing directly through the lines. There's a solid arm injury. Ooh, and there's a shoulder injury and death. Nicely done. Very good, Wajtek. Now it's time to engage. Oswald, move up. Take on the lightly armored orc. Nice, efficient kill. Ooh, but he got stunned in return. Alright, well, Reinhard can join the party. Again, we're going to focus on this unarmored guy here, where possible. Though, obviously, our north end is going to have to focus on the more heavily armored young. There we go. Okay, we've got both of the lighter armored orc young out of the way, so now we can start trying to cut down the armored ones. There we go. Alright, Goon managed to sprain that one's ankle, but also broke his morale. And, ooh, okay, Reinhardt's been engaged by the Orc Warrior. Fortunately, he just pushed him back instead of actually attacking, though. Okay, things are actually going pretty smoothly so far. We've dropped half their group already, and we haven't taken any significant injuries in return. So let's just keep up the pressure. We want to clear these Orc Young, and then we're going to surround the Orc Warrior and hit him from all sides. Say, though, I will start whittling down his armor now. You are not going to believe how tough this guy is. It actually makes me dread facing Orc War Chiefs, which is going to happen sooner or later. Those guys are like Orc Warriors on steroids. Okay, Reinhard, focus on the Orc Young for the moment. There's a decent hit, and unfortunately Casimir is going to have to block Goon. It's a necessary evil. And Rondus will engage the remaining Orc Young. Ooh, sliced open that one's neck, very nice. And Igot will boldly begin the assault on the Orc Warrior. Ah, very nice. Oswald managed to break all three of the Orcs' morale with one swing. I think that means we're going to start bringing Goon around. It's going to take him another turn, but he can really help out against the Orc Warrior. Bring Woe up and keep trimming away at these Orc Young. That's another one down. Since all the Orc Young are broken, the majority of us are going to start shifting our focus onto the Orc Warrior. His armor is still holding out. Though I will make attacks of opportunity in passing on these Orc Young. I don't want to let them just flee the battlefield. Looks like Reinhard is bleeding. Okay, it must be because of that Orc Cleaver. Didn't even notice when that happened. Yeah, Reinhardt's getting a bit beat up there, but he's still in halfway decent shape. I'll need to get him a kite shield when one becomes available. Okay. With the full force of the Raiders on this warrior, we should hopefully have him down by the end of this turn. Oh yeah, his armor's totally wrecked, and now he's broken too. There we go. That was a nice, efficient battle. Reinhardt took a bit of a beating, but he should be fine in a day or so. Rondus is MVP with 3 kills, and it looks like both Casimir and Woe are up to 4th level. Now, as far as loot goes, we pulled some amber shards and an assortment of orc weapons. All told, that should net us at least 700-800 gold. The battle over, you search the orc camp. Among the ruins you find what appears to be heavy armor and human weapons in a very unusable state. Sadly, you do not find those they perhaps once belonged to. Well, that's a bummer. The part about us not being able to use all that heavy armor, I mean. Okay, let's get back to New Farn and collect our pay. And welcome back. Now, we still need to get back to New Farn to collect our pay, but we stumbled across this den of the undead. Looks like a necromancer set up a lair here and filled it with Wiedergangers and Geists. Now, we have already faced one necromancer, but things were so stilted in our favor that time. I think it might be nice to give him another go. Push ourselves a little bit with another challenge, you know? And, of course, Wiedergangers are always good for some easy XP. Though this terrain is not ideal. We can either push forward or fall back a little bit. I think in this case we're going to pull back one hex, set up our archers on elevated, and then hop our warriors back, so that when the Wiedergangers engage us, they'll have to do so from lower elevation. Yeah, I think that sounds like a plan. Rather than exhausting ourselves trying to push up that hill. I'm still giving some serious consideration to giving the men Pathfinder. It's a monumentally useful perk for terrain like this, but at the same time, it's hard to prioritize a utility perk like that over more offensive or defensive-oriented perks. And here they come. Now the bright side here is that hill is funneling them around to the north. That means that the majority of them are going to be forced to engage us where we have the height advantage. And of course it gives our archers ample opportunity to get some easy kills. Oh, there's the necromancer. He's pretty high up there. That's going to be hard for our archers to reach. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, hanging back here is actually probably a bad idea. Because if the necromancer isn't taken down, he's just going to keep reanimating these guys. And eventually will become exhausted. Okay, I think what we're going to do is keep focusing on trying to take down the first few zombies that come in range with our archers. And then we're going to try to spike through their lines to get someone close enough to that necromancer so we can take him down. Then we can mop the rest of these guys up at our leisure. But until then, we have to tread lightly and kill efficiently, because fatigue is definitely going to be a problem. Plus, of course, I can't forget that there's at least one Geist back there, probably 2 or 3. They're going to hold back until turn 3, but then they'll start advancing and trying to shred our morale. Speaking of which, I'll need to move Henry up to the center of our line at some point. Okay, I think it's time to start moving up and engaging these guys. I'll hold back with Casimir for a moment because he's still a low level, but Roderick can engage. We'll bring Siren up as well. If we're lucky, Siren might be able to find a way up the side of this hill if he can efficiently dispatch that necromancer. That'll make this fight a lot easier. And there's our first reanimation. Unfortunately, with the necromancer on the field, I should reiterate, these Wiedergangers can reanimate more than once. There's essentially an infinite pool of enemies on the field until we take down that caster. Though we are fortunate that over half of these Wiedergangers are unarmored. That actually makes this a lot more manageable too, because our archers can cut down unarmored Wiedergangers pretty efficiently. There are a few armored Wiedergangers there towards the back. Speaking of which, I don't know how practical it is, but I would like to try to capture that red and gold kettle helm. I think that would actually look pretty nice on Siren. I think he's about due for a helmet upgrade anyway. Very nice. Alright, we've mowed through their front lines pretty efficiently so far. Especially with Rondis front and center. So now we just need to worry about the Geists, because they're going to start screaming at us on round 4. Okay, Siren. This guy's in our way, but... I mean, he's unarmed, so I guess we'll risk just trying to push past him. Okay. And now the rest of our line have engaged the armored Wiedergangers. End of round maneuvering. And round 4. Let the slaughtering resume. Oof, I think pretty much every zombie we killed is getting back up this round. It's just what happens when you've got a necro on the field. And there's the screaming, but it looks like we actually weathered it pretty well. Rondis is a little shaken, but otherwise everyone's fine. Nicely done. Bunny efficiently dispatching several of the zombies. We'll bring Henry a little closer to keep everyone's morale up. And Vlad. Very nice. Double nice. Alright. We're definitely putting them down just as fast as they're getting back up. And even better, this actually gives Siren a clear shot at the Necromancer. Oh shoot, you know, I just realized we came into this fight without Alessandro Geist Killer Rodriguez. That means that it might be a little more work to take out these ghosts. Alright, Roderick, let's get you back onto your spear. And cut down some more of these Wiedergangers. Alright, now Siren has a clear shot at the Necromancer, but I think we're going to need to detour him real quick to see if we can take out this Geist. There we go, nicely done. Now we can keep pushing towards our primary target. And the rest of our guys will keep the Wiedergangers under control. More reanimated. You could actually see the Necromancer casting the reanimation spell that time. Alright, well, cut him back down, boys. And at this point, our archers don't really have a clear shot towards most of these things. They'll take a couple of shots at the one exposed zombie, but then I think we're going to start taking pot shots at that other Geist. Though, as always, this is only a 5% chance to hit per shot. In fact, we're dropping these zombies so efficiently it might just be easier to push. Oh, well, never mind. Alright, Mark Richards took out the other Geist with a nicely placed arrow. He's got a long way to go before he can catch up with Alessandro when it comes to Geist kills, but it's a nice start. Now that just leaves us with these 2 armored Wiedergangers left. At this point, I think we can afford to go ahead and Start jabbing them with daggers, see if we can harvest whatever armor they're wearing, especially that kettle helm. Yeah, we've only got 3 Weeder Gangers and the Necromancer left, and Siren's just engaging the Necromancer now. The thing is, even if Siren can't take out the Necromancer quickly, at the very least he's going to be distracting the Necromancer, so the Necromancer will be less likely to cast spells. This poor bastard's not even armed. He's trying to punch his way through Siren's kite shield. Okay, archers, I'm not even really sure what to do with you now. I guess we'll just move you up. The Necromancer's bodyguard's doing a little bit of damage to Siren's armor there. I guess I should move someone up to support him as well. Though I don't want to move everyone up, because we do still have to worry about the occasional Weeder Ganger reanimation. And we don't want to leave the rest of our archers unguarded. Alright, Siren, let's do some damage here. Oop, never mind, you are exhausted from climbing the hill. Well, that's all the more reason to bring Rondis in to support, then. And we do have one reanimated, and it's an armored Weeder Ganger. Alright, well, let's see if we can drop him real quick. Nicely done, Baggins. And I think we'll actually see if... There we go. Okay. We do have a line of sight on the... Oh, come on. I think that Necromancer literally just punched a hole in Siren's cheek with his fist. That is ridiculous. Alright, well, unfortunately, that continues the trend of Siren being sidelined with crippling injuries. Ooh, nicely placed shot. That's an arrow through the neck in return. I do feel a bit bad for Siren. He's one of our toughest, most efficient killers. But he just seems to really have bad luck when it comes to those crippling injuries. Alright, let's just finish this here. Round 8. Hopefully this is the last round. There we go, and... Okay, well... Risk a shot with Potato. There's a nice chest wound. One more solid hit should drop this guy. Or not. Right, right. Spears are more accurate, but they do inflict less damage. But that's fine. Roderick picks up the slack. Alright, let's see here. Looks like Siren has a pierced cheek. Roderick der Kriegsmesser once again pulls MVP. And we did get that kettle hat. Very nice. So, even though he is sidelined for the moment, Siren will get his new hat. Now let's continue back towards Newfarn to collect our pay. Or not. One more quick detour. On the way towards Newfarn, we spied this small group of brigands, and You know, it's been a while since we fought some nice basic humans, so I think this will be a nice, easy way to round out the episode. I was hoping, as always, that we'd see some two-handed weapons spawn on these guys, but we just don't seem to be having much luck in that regard. That kite shield's nice, though. I actually think I'd like to try to get that. I got this. Had a shield like that not too long ago, and he rather liked it. Unfortunately, it was smashed to flinders during one of our fights against the orcs. So I'm sure he'd love the opportunity to get his hands on another one. There we go. There's our first kill. And I will also say it is a nice, refreshing change of pace to be able to fight enemies who forget to wear their helmets again. I am going to be flailing so many skulls this battle. And conveniently, they are just close enough for us to start the attack. Let's go ahead and move up and engage and see how many of these guys we can kill in round one. There's a broken nose. And a death. Nicely done, Roderick. We'll bring Rondis up, and the kite shield turned aside his attack. And Faceless can't attack, unfortunately. But we still have the archers. Let's see if we can pick off that marksman. There's a nice arrow through the neck. And Vlad has an opening here. Doling out a nasty chest wound. Now, okay. That's rough. They got a little careless there. I left my archer row exposed to that crossbow, despite knowing how deadly crossbows can be. And Alessandro has paid the price. That's a punctured lung on him. Okay, let's... Apparently Alessandro, being badly wounded, incensed Sergeant Baggins. Sergeant Baggins does care for his men, so he handily dispatches all the brigands on the south line. Oh, and it looks like that had the side effect of breaking the morale on their marksmen as well, so that means our own archers are relatively safe now. Still, let's see if we can pick this guy off before he runs. And there's Faceless Goon, efficiently cracking skulls as always, and that breaks the morale on the second-to-last brigand as well. That means the battle's pretty much over. Let's just move our guys up and finish these guys off. Very nice. Of course, with our luck... No, you're not running. With our luck, this crossbowman is going to whip out a knife and punch it right through someone's armor, so... Let's see if we can take him down before he gets the chance to attack someone. Ooh, so close to death. There we go. Let's see here. We've got Faceless Goon and Sergeant Baggins tied for MVP. And Rondis hits level 8, congratulations. Igot is up to 6, and Oswald is up to 5. As far as loot goes, we did net that kite shield for Igot. I'm sure he'll love it. And the rest of this stuff is mostly filler, but I'll take it anyway. And now, we can finally return to Newfard, which is so close it's practically within eyeshot. You show Count Gerald von Eisenstein a head of an orc. He stares at it, then at you. Interesting. So, should I take it that you've completed what I've asked of you? You nod. The man smiles and handovers a wooden chest with 650 crowns inside. I knew I could trust you, sellsword. Short and to the point. I appreciate that, Gerald. Now we're going to unload this loot and, of course, get Igot equipped with his new shield. And let's go ahead and take a look at this other contract, too, so we know what we're starting the next episode with. We're past the 30-minute mark, so let's just skim it. Okay, it looks like a monster hunting quest. The pay is decent, so we'll take it. And yes, it is a monster hunting quest, okay. So next time, the Raiders will hunt down whatever it is that's terrorizing the citizens of Newfarn. Oh, and hey, it looks like we finally exceeded that 10,000 gold. So next time we'll also be looking forward to the ambition procking. Hey, Retcon Raider here. Looks like this was another fairly smooth session for the Raiders. We wiped out 2 more strongholds as well as a roving band of brigands for good measure, and we even netted a small amount of usable loot. More importantly, we finished up our 3rd noble contract and wrapped up yet another ambition, which will be great for morale. And of course, with that ambition taken care of, we can now finally look forward to buying our very first great weapon, and picking up another new recruit. Speaking of which, I think it's about time we start bringing in some of the more expensive mercenaries. I'll need to poke around a bit to see what's available, but I'm probably going to try to recruit a noble or a sellsword, though if I can find a reasonably affordable hedge knight, then that will be even better. And, as always, still keeping an eye out for a cultist. I really think we could use a cultist for our roster. For, reasons. At any rate, I think the men are due another round of drinks, and then it's time to find what terror flaps in the night. So for now, this is Retcon Raider, signing off. Thanks for watching. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Battle Brothers, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, or the fan-run wiki. Links are in the description.